Hello, I'm Javier with AZ in the Circle, Arizona Softball Podcast. We are here for Season 3, our opening show. And we're here with NFCA First Team All-American ASU Sun Devil, Kenzie Brown. Kenzie? Way to go. We got a Sun Devil in the house. I'm so excited for this show. And it's the season opener.
Yeah,
so
I'm excited.
Try to keep your applause down, proud. We got a live studio here, so keep it down. So thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Sun Devils, you know. Oh, here we go.
Rocking the visor right
now. Yes. So we're going to ask you, I got 5 questions here, and we got to recap that season. That was an amazing season, so I definitely want to talk about that. And then we'll ask some questions in there, some ABC questions. And then after the season, I like to know, that was such an intense season. Yeah, what did you do this summer to ease it back down and then ramp it back up? What's that look like? Then we'll break for our sponsor, and then we'll come back because you have one amazing recruiting journey that I want you to share with us, if possible, if it's okay with you. Yeah. Yep. And then I want to talk about, well, we'll talk about your teammates throughout that too, but really your catcher, Samantha Swan, did I say that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she seemed like she was a beast this past spring, you know. And she was. Yeah, I think she caught every single game. So I want to say, I'll talk a little bit about that. And then finally, you know, game day. Hey, what are you listening to? What's your walk-up song? Stuff like that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So it'll be fun. All right. So here we go. Kenzie, ASU softball had a very successful season. You guys won 15 more games than the year before. You battled to the very end in the circle. And the freshmen, you had these magnificent 7 freshmen come in, and I think you had 3 or 4 starters at some time during the game throughout the season, and they came through in big moments. But then you also had the veterans of Swan, right, and Hall and Wendell and Yaya and Murphy. They came through in big moments. So it was really a team that you had young players, you had veterans, you had yourself, you had a good pitching staff, you know, to keep you in it. The team went 14-10 in the Big 12, you know, and you were named, like I mentioned before, NFCA First Team All-American, which in and of itself is an amazing story. If you had started all 4 years at ASU, you know, and maybe, you know, Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, and then, you know, but then, man, that's not what happened. You came out of really, not really out of nowhere for the outsiders. But behind the scenes, there was a lot of hard work in there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So we'd love to hear about that. So my first question out of that first intro is, what was your biggest takeaway from the 2025 season?
I think we are on the right track of getting Sun Devil softball back to where it was. I mean, we're a program of national championships, and not everyone can say that. So obviously in the Bartlett era, she's worked so hard at getting the team back to just the traditional family culture of what Sun Devil softball is. And yeah, I mean, we have the right tools, the right people to make this place so special. It already is, but I don't know. I just have such a soft spot in my heart for Arizona State. So yeah.
Good. And that club where you guys play, Club Farrington, that's,
oh my gosh,
that's beautiful, right? How does it feel when you go there? You got to pinch yourself or what?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I never in a million years, looking back on my recruiting journey, if you would have told me I'd be playing at Arizona State, literal paradise, I would have laughed at you and said, okay, yeah, right. But oh my gosh, like the building blocks of this program is the freshman class, 100%, like having Tiade, Ashley, TK. That freshman class is so special, and they're going to be the root of all things successful at Arizona State.
That's great. Yeah, we'll talk about them some more.
Yeah.
Good. What was one of your favorite moments on the field? I mean, I know there were a lot because I saw it. You play with such intensity, such enthusiasm. I mean, what I love about it, it could be the first inning or the 7th inning. It doesn't matter what the situation is. When you're in the circle and you get that last third out, whether it's a strikeout, whether it's Tiade making some great catch and throwing back against her body for the third out, you always fire everybody else up.
Oh, yeah.
Does that just come naturally? It just comes out of you? I love how you play with emotion. I love how you play with intensity and enthusiasm. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you go through an injury and it's taken from you, I've always played with enthusiasm, don't get that wrong. But whenever you go through an injury, like you look at the game differently and you appreciate it a lot more. But I've always just played with a ton of emotion because I love the game and I've put so much work into it. Like, why would I not be myself on the field? So that's something that I value a ton.
It's great. So yeah. So what was one of your best memories on the field?
Easy. Oklahoma City, Devon Park. Whenever we played OSU at the conference tournament, it's so funny. They had a Twitter poll. OSU did. Who do you got? And it's a poll of ASU or Oklahoma State. And the poll was like 70-30 OSU. And we ended up winning the game. And I will just never forget the looks on their faces of just sheer shock. Their fans were silent after inning 3, probably. And after the game, after the interviews, everyone's just kind of giggling on the bus. And I opened my phone and it's the Twitter poll. They posted a fisheye of me. And our caption was, oops.
Yeah, that's
they
great.
reposted the poll. It was so funny.
Did they know you had the highest whiff rate for a rise ball in the country? Like,
no,
they didn't know that.
So.
Yeah.
I think I kind of flew under the radar this year.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, and then what about one of your favorite moments off the field with your teammates? Maybe that same bus ride. Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I always love having the girls over for dinner, and I lead a Bible study for my teammates. So whenever they come over and we share that commonality of spiritual commonality, I think that that's really cool because we can bond on something other than softball. And I love cooking dinner, and our girls love to eat. So I love filling bellies and having people over.
What's your go-to meal that you cook? Do you have a favorite dish you make, or
anything in the crock pot? I'm good. My grandma, that's all thanks to my grandma and my mom. They are really good cooks.
Yep. You're from, I think it's Lake City, Illinois.
Yep.
Come from a big family, right? You have 8 siblings.
Yep.
And so I bet you a crock pot really did save a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, good. And then that's off the field. Okay, now after grinding through a season like we did, right, like you guys did.
Yep.
The fans, I loved it. From a fan standpoint, it was so great. 'Cause I live in South Tempe. It takes me nothing to get to this field.
Yeah.
Watch you guys compete. But it's a grind, and you guys went so far, and you made it to the tournament, which was fantastic. And it doesn't always end. And only one team gets happy, right? The D team that wins at Texas.
Right.
But after a season like that, what did you immediately do after the season? Maybe to catch your breath, to unwind, to recharge your battery. What does that look like? And then what do you do to start ramping back up?
So 2 days after our regional, we flew back to Arizona, and I got all of my wisdom teeth taken out because I couldn't take it anymore. So I got that taken out, and that literally forced me to sit on the couch for about a week. So that's honestly probably what my body needed. But yeah, that was miserable not being able to eat. I love eating. Yeah. So not being able to eat whatever I want was not ideal.
What was the diet there? Because I've had that. Impacted? Were they impacted?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the worst.
Oh, yeah.
And then was it like smoothies? What did you have to eat?
It was like ice cream for the first day, and then I got tired of that. But it felt so good. And then I went to protein shakes, and I was just like, okay, I need something warm. So then it went to mashed potatoes, and I blended up a can of chicken noodle soup and used it as gravy, which sounds really disgusting, but it was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Yeah. So yeah, I stayed on that diet for about a week.
and then what? Then what happened? You start to get back into it.
Yeah. So I helped out with recruits on campus. That was really fun. And then I went home and did a youth camp with everyone that wanted to join and I had girls from all over Central Illinois that came to my camp.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I did a pitching clinic.
And you were hey, come see Kenzie Brown, ASU Sun Devil.
Yeah, I honestly thought that maybe like 10, 15 kids would show up. No, it was 10, 15 kids per session, and I had 4 sessions.
4 sessions.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's 60. Pretty quick math.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So all these girls are looking up to Kenzie Brown from their hometown.
Yep.
How'd that make you feel? Because I'm sure you remember when you were young, you probably looking up. How was that?
Yeah. It was really rewarding because you put in all that work, especially at a young age. Like whenever you're 8, 9, and 10, it's all about reps. So I went outside and I was throwing to my bow net or my dad. My dad is such a big part of my success as well. You're out there throwing to your bow net or your dad 100, 200 pitches every single day. And you never imagine what that will get you. And so as a young kid, you're looking at that college player like, oh my gosh, I really want to be her. Really want to be in her position whenever I'm older. And then now that I'm finally older in the position that I never dreamed of being in, it's like, wow. Like you look back and you reflect and you think of the time whenever you were that little girl. So.
Didn't you tell me that when we were talking before the show that there was this little girl that you were looking at? She was looking at you, and what was going on?
Yes, she literally was like smiling and like bouncing up and down. I was like, oh my gosh, like she's literally having a panic attack. Like she started crying. I was like, like, do you want a hug? Like, are you okay?
Yeah, that was good. It was like the beetle invasion.
No, literally, literally.
Wow, that's good. You made her day. She'll remember that forever.
Yeah.
I remember when I saw Kenzie Brown. Like kind of like me when you were in here.
Oh my gosh.
No, okay. And I want to go back to these freshmen. Okay, because you probably heard about the freshmen coming in. You're like, okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're thinking, but maybe I'm thinking as a veteran player, like, okay, we'll really see. But then when it started happening, you started seeing them play. What were you thinking? You're like, oh my gosh, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, no. Coach Bartlett kind of told me, because I don't know the freshmen. Like I haven't seen them play travel ball because I'm so much older than them. But Coach Bartlett was like, oh no, these freshmen are legit, and I just trusted her. I was like, okay. Sure, I'm sure they are. Yeah. And they got on campus, and I was like, yep, they lived up to every bit of that expectation. So, yeah, it was awesome.
And then how awesome was it having, Kelsey Hall comes back from that injury pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And Yaya, too, and then you got Swan, and then you got Murphy jumping into the shortstop position.
Yeah.
How'd that make you feel when all these veterans, too, were part of the equation?
Yeah. It's easy going to work every day and feeling like you're surrounded by people who want the same thing as you, and that's just success and being surrounded by greatness. So yeah, having that core, the foundation of holding standards and holding people accountable for everything, like, I don't know, it's just so important to have, and that's something that is gonna help the program in the future.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit. When you said that you came back from your injury, we'll talk about that later, but you had a bigger appreciation, you play with more emotion.
Yeah.
How did that affect when you saw the freshmen playing, and then, for example, Tiare, she at one point in the season, she led off.
Yeah.
She was the leadoff.
Yeah.
Did you think to yourself, does she not even know what she's doing? Not like that, but like, I don't think she knows what a great job that she's doing.
Yeah.
And I think I talked to Coach Bartlett, and she said, oh yeah, and I didn't even have, she's trying to surround it with a better hitter, not better hitter, but another power hitter to really force them to have to pitch to her, and I think it's going to pay off big dividends.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Tiare is just one of those people that if Coach B is like, okay, you're going to hit leadoff and you're going to be the 4 hitter the next game, you're going to be cleanup, she'd be like, okay. Yeah. Like she's a team player, and she is, oh my gosh, like I could go on and on about everything, all things good with Tiare. But yeah, she's awesome, and I think she's gonna have even better seasons in the future. She had an amazing freshman season, and yeah, she's gonna be an All-American.
Yeah, Coach Bartlett said that. She's like, I just got to open her eyes to seeing what I can put behind her or in front of her, and just surround her with some support, and she'll just blossom in that lineup. Absolutely. And then also, what did you think about Ashley? My goodness, the bombs that she hits, the power.
No,
Ash bash.
Yes, Ash bash. I literally still think about the ball that she hit in Utah. That field, I swear, is like an MLB stadium field. Like, it is massive. And she smoked one over right field. I was in the bullpen warming up, and she smoked it. Right field, it was gone. Like, the outfielder literally just watched it just fly over her because she knew that there was no shot at catching it. And I will never forget that. That was the hardest hit home run I've ever seen. And I still was just like jaw to the floor, like, what the heck? Like, what? How did that just come out of your body? Like, she's just
muscle.
so strong. Like, she's so strong.
And then I saw TK in the opening Kajikawa Classic tournament.
Yeah.
She hit a home run. It was like electricity in the building, the energy that comes out of her. She plays with a lot of emotion.
I know. She's a super twitchy, fast, athlete. And I think she doesn't know how good she is. And I think that's what's so fun about the freshman class. They're so humble. They're so humble.
And they got all this experience now.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's only up from there.
Like Swan, mostly freshman year, she played most of the innings, if I can remember right. So as a sophomore, she was really one of the veterans.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen with those TK and Ashley and Tiade. They're veterans already, and they're only sophomores.
Yep.
And then you're coming in at your redshirt senior year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this season. Yep.
Me too.
Good. Well, hey, that's a great first half of the show. We'll take a quick break and hear from our sponsor. Thank you again, Kenzie, for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Home Repairs and Remodeling is proud to sponsor Season 3 of AZ in the Circles podcast. They love the game of softball. Home Repairs and Remodeling has been in business for 20 years, established in 2005. Now, for homeowners looking to remodel their kitchen, who have a vision of this functional, beautiful place to make homemade meals for their loved ones and entertain family and friends, call Home Repairs and Remodeling today at 602-686-8354 or visit their website, homerepairsandremodeling.com. Also, Home Repairs and Remodeling provides a solution to the affordability issue in the Valley by building ADUs, auxiliary dwelling units. Basically, a second living space situated on the same lot as a primary residence. Think garage conversion to a casita, or a mother-in-law suite, or rental income unit, or guest house. Again, call Home Repairs and Remodeling today. Home Repairs and Remodeling, your vision, our know-how. Okay, and we're back with the All-American from Arizona State, Kenzie Brown, going into your redshirt senior year. Just love saying that. And you're going to understand why I love saying it, because we're going to talk about your recruiting journey, all right? And yeah, I love the hear it. So let's hear, how did you, because you ended up going to Tulsa first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah. So I was in the era of athletes that were committing in 8th grade, and I was just like, oh wow, like I really need to get it going. So that rule came out, the September 1st rule. So I think I was the first class that had the September 1st rule if you weren't already committed beforehand. But before that rule came out, you saw like the travel athletes, oh, I'm committing now, just so they had that spot. So yeah,
You decided, no, I'm not going to commit.
Yeah. I was just like, well, probably not. Like I didn't even have offers at that age. Thank goodness.
You didn't have big time SEC offers and Pac-12 and Big 12. Exactly. It's crazy.
I mean, I was like a beanpole, like 5'7" and a beanpole in 8th grade. So they were just like, ooh, I don't know if that kid is going to be any good by the time she's a junior.
Little did they know.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So at that point I was going through camps, and that's whenever I went to Ball State, all like the smaller schools, Eastern Illinois.
Coach Bartlett was at Ball State.
Mm-hmm.
Was she there?
Yeah.
She saw you there?
That's the connection. Yeah, it's crazy. So I ended up committing to Tulsa little after September 1st. It was within that first week I had committed to
junior
Tulsa.
year.
Yep.
You passed up in your 8th grade and you went to freshman year, sophomore year in high school.
Yep. So
and how did Tulsa find out about you? Because
so
you were from Illinois, and you're not Chicago, it's Lake City, Illinois, a little bit smaller, right?
Yep. So I played for Midland Magic. It was a travel ball organization. I mean, I started off playing with Villa Grove Elite. We were a really small but super solid travel ball team, and I played with my best friends in the whole world. And then I ended up moving to my pitching coach's team at the time, and he had the recruiting connections. So I switched to Midland Magic whenever I was 15 and played for him. And then that summer, so I was a sophomore, leading up to September 1st, that's whenever I started getting looked at. They were like, oh, wow, like, where did this kid come from? And Tulsa was the first school that was like, oh, wow, like first Division I school, I should say, that wasn't from back home. Like, oh, wow, this kid's really good. So I got recruited by Tulsa, and they kind of just stuck with me. They ended up showing up to a ton of my travel ball tournaments that summer. I kept going to camps, went to other camps. I went to the Tulsa camp, and I was like, wow, I really like it. Like, I wanted a small school. I'm from a small town, small high school. I couldn't imagine myself going to a school with 50,000 people and being happy. Like, I didn't, my my biggest goal was I didn't want to sit the bench. I wanted to make an immediate impact. So I committed to Tulsa because at the time they were top 20 in the nation. The coaches ended up changing. My pitching coach left. Another one got hired on. I really liked her. She ended up leaving 2 weeks before I got on campus, and I was left with no pitching coach. So it was tough. My head coach taking over the pitching coach role because I knew I was a developmental kid. Something I knew I needed to work on was, spotting, spinning, understanding how to throw the ball at the highest level. So, I mean,
now you had a head coach that was in charge of the pitching, maybe the defense, the recruiting, just a lot on his plate instead of just one person.
Right. So, I mean, it wasn't obviously the right fit. So I ended up entering the transfer portal, and I've had a lot of people ask me like, oh, would you do it over again? Would you go to Tulsa? Absolutely, I would. I would do it 100 million times over again, because if I didn't go there, I wouldn't be here. So
that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Perspective, that's for sure.
And I always say you should thank its past. You should thank the past for its perfection.
Yeah.
Because the past happened and it was so perfect that it led you to your situation.
Absolutely. And Tulsa gave me an amazing opportunity. It could be very easy to complain about the situation, but they gave me an amazing opportunity. It just wasn't the right fit, and I think that's okay. So whenever the portal hit, I ended up hitting the portal. Coach B from Ball State, she was at Texas at the time.
Now she was at Texas.
Yep.
Okay.
So she was at Ball State whenever I was 13, 14, 15, going to her camps at a young age. And I had the connection because whenever September 1st, she called me while she was at Ball State. So I was just like,
so she's new.
Yeah, right. And then oddly enough, while I was at Tulsa, we played Texas in a preseason tournament, and I started against Texas. So she knew me. But
then she ended up getting the job at ASU.
Yeah, she got the job at ASU.
So when did then she's like, hey, now I really want you.
Yeah.
So what happened then? She called you, and what happened when she got to ASU, and then she finally called you again and said, hey.
Yeah, so she called me that summer and was just like, Kenz, you could do this at a really high level. And I was like, you're right. Like, I'm only going to transfer once, like, go big or go home. And I met Coach Manley. I was around men's fast pitch,
How soon after, when she called you, she was at ASU, how soon did she have you out on campus?
Within a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, within a week.
Did you come out here with who came with you?
My dad.
Yeah. What was he thinking when he knows ASU?
My dad has always been my biggest fan. So he was always just like, I'm going to support you in whatever you want to do. But he was the one on the bucket for hours on end growing up. He knew that I could do this at a high level. I think it was just me that was just like, oh, I'm not sure. But yeah, without him, I don't think I could have done any of this. But he was just like, wow, like this is really cool.
So you come out here.
Yeah, I come out here. I meet Coach Manley, and I was just like, yeah, like around another men's fast pitch guy. He was a world champion, best in the world for 5 years straight. Like, yeah, I could do this. I could follow his lead. I can do whatever he says. And sure enough, I committed on the spot at ASU and never looked back.
Wow.
Yeah.
So awesome. And then, how was that night when you're in Tempe? What time of year was it?
July.
So it's a little hot. What would your dad do?
My dad was like, is this what walking on Mars feels like? And I was just like, it must, because I will never forget. We walked out on the field, and this was on my visit. We walked out on the field, and my dad looked at me. He's like, it's hot here.
Yeah, it's real hot.
Yeah.
More like Mercury.
No,
that's what it feels like working on Mercury. But that was July, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't trade the winters for anything. Yeah. The winters are great.
Oh yeah, when you get your fall ball.
Yeah.
And then how awesome is it playing at Club Farrington? You guys played 30, I think it was 30 games.
Yeah.
Here in Arizona before you even went on the road.
Yeah.
How awesome was that?
Oh my gosh. It's such a blessing playing here, because your teams want to come to us and they want to play here, and
you're like, okay,
because it's warm, and it's like, okay, we'll stay in our own bed, like we'll stay on our own routine and schedule, because that makes a difference.
Yeah,
so
it does.
Yeah,
I like that. So then you're here, you're committed, and then So your sophomore year starts, and you're getting out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's Coach Bartlett's first year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and she was really. We've talked about it before. She was really thrown into a tough situation, but she,
Yeah.
she's from Ball State, and she's from Indiana. Went to that school in South Bend, so she's got some fight in her.
Yep.
So
Yep.
she fought pretty hard through that year to get to second year. But then you also tell us about your sophomore year. You started feeling some pain or something.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. So about halfway through my sophomore season, I was just like, man, my leg is hurting. I didn't know what exactly it was, and it was a process figuring it out. But I was just like, oh, whatever. My dad was always the type of person like, oh, rub some dirt on it, you're fine. So I had that mindset too, even with like bigger things. So I was like, oh, my leg hurts. It's fine. I can still walk. I'm fine. So I kind of just toughed it out and didn't realize the severity of it because I was still pitching on it. It was fine. And that fall kind of rolled around and I was like, ooh, yeah, it still hurts. So ended up getting some MRIs on it and found out that I needed some ankle surgery. So that's what happened.
So then your sophomore year kind of battled through that, and then your junior year you never even got started. So the 2024 season you had surgery.
Yep.
And you sat out. Now people always say, oh, that's too bad, but really sometimes it's a blessing in disguise.
Yep.
Did that because your window as a pitcher or as a player, right, it's like this, and then as you get older, it starts to open up more. Did that help you, that injury, look at the game a little differently?
Absolutely. Whenever you're sidelined, I mean, you look at the game from a completely different perspective because you're not on the field. You look at the behind the scenes, what the coaches do to chess match and game plan, and you look at the stats. You can learn how to read hitters, read hitting patterns. That's something I learned last year with Coach Manley. That's something that we worked on. We would do film sessions together, like, oh, what do you see here? And then I would tell him, this is what I see, and it matched him. So I kind of learned the game from his perspective. I learned how to chart. I learned how to be a team player, be my teammates' biggest fans. So I think that's why I get so excited for my teammates on the field, because it's like, oh, they make a big catch behind me. That's great. Like, I'm your first person to give you a high five,
And then I always remember Marissa Scholl and Deb Jones really taking most of the load that year because you had a lot of injuries, which, it's just sometimes that happens, right? Sometimes you have years where not so many injuries, sometimes you do. But what kind of impression did that leave on you, the mental toughness that Marissa Scholl had and Deb Jones stepping in and saying, we're going to do this?
Yeah. Marissa was always just a good example. She's a hometown kid. She's just tough-minded, very gritty. So she set the standard of what being a team player looks like. And I think she would sacrifice herself over anybody. So Marissa was just a very gritty athlete. And Deb, I mean, she's so funny. Oh my gosh. She's
tall.
Oh yeah.
Are you, how tall? I mean,
she was taller than I was.
Okay, because I remember you're pretty tall.
Yeah. She was a inch or two taller than me. Yeah, she's very tall. But yeah, seeing her take on that load, and she's just a team player.
And then from there you started working when you got the green light. How much fire did you have coming into this past fall? Like,
Yeah. I just had to lean on the work that I had put in. I obviously wanted to succeed, but softball is a very humbling sport, and you fail more times than you succeed. So whenever you go through your freshman season, sophomore season, where it's just like building blocks, and just trusting the process, it's like, okay, is this going to be like another building block year? Is it going to be a breakout season? I had no idea. Like, I genuinely was just like, okay, I put in the work. I have to trust the work that I put in, and I have to lean on my teammates. And that's exactly what I did.
And they leaned on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys leaned on each other.
Absolutely, yeah.
Held each other up.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay, so knowing what you know now, what would you tell your younger self about the college recruiting process?
Don't sell yourself short. I think if you're from a small town, maybe this was just a me thing. You might be like, oh, am I good enough to play at the SEC or Big 12, whatever level, the Power 4 level, I should say. Am I good enough to play at that level? And it's like, okay, you have to think long term, like, can I get there? Am I willing to put the work in to get there? And that's that's really what sets people apart. The weight room is a big piece of it. So yeah, I think looking back at my younger self, I would tell her, trust the process. Don't sell yourself short, and always remember softball is very humbling. So don't get overly confident. And that's something I have lived by my entire career, is do not be cocky, because that will humble you very fast.
And that really, I think, gives you an edge, right? So you're always on the edge. You're just not always that, oh, I got this. There's always no, I got to go.
I have never been like, oh, I got this.
Yeah.
Never once in my life.
Okay, good. I think that's why you enjoy it so much.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then the part where you said about you're working hard, keep working hard, or something you mentioned that it'll come back to me.
Okay.
So anyway, that's great advice. Don't sell yourself short. Work. Oh, I know what it was. You had said earlier that you did some reflection. You said, I'm a development player. I need more time, right? And so you said something there, like the weight room, and if you believe that you'll eventually get there, have that faith. Obviously, there's sometimes a young freshman or sophomore, and you can tell they already have the size, they're already strong. Well, and then they play and they're talented. Well, you say, well, okay, that's a P4 player, right? But some of those players, maybe they're not there freshman year or sophomore year, but they're going to be at that point junior year or senior year, or maybe freshman in college. So they'll eventually catch up.
Yep.
When it matters, and it seems like to me that's what kind of you're saying. You might not look that part right now.
Yeah.
If you keep working hard, you'll get to that point.
Yeah, I think something that my dad always like engraved in my brain was, everyone at this level is talented. It's I don't know the corny saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Yes.
And that's something that my dad taught me. He always taught me to work hard, never slack off. And that's something I will appreciate long term. Like that doesn't just apply to softball, that goes with real life too. But everyone at this level is talented. But I think what set me apart was the weight room and my strength coach. I mean, Pete's awesome. Like, he does that one-on-one training in the summer whenever everyone else, I mean, I would love to think that everyone else at the Power 4 level is working out all summer, but that might not be the case. I don't know that. I'm not a part of any other program. But what sets the Power 4 athletes apart is putting in the work whenever everyone else is resting, because everyone at this level is talented. It's just who puts in more work. Maybe that's not even physically, maybe that's mentally, just wherever you're at as an athlete. Yep. Yeah.
I think that season, but you said you were Coach Manley and you were going through film the 2024 season when you didn't play. I think that pretty much had a big impact on your success this year.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I would think you become almost like a film junkie.
Yeah.
Right? Like a Peyton Manning, where you're out there and you're like a coach on the field and you can see stuff happening and you've seen so much video and you go through so much video of the hitters you're about to face, so you kind of already face them in your mind so many times.
I think, honestly, I mean, oddly enough, I am not a film person at all. Like, as a player on the field, I'm very different as the player off the field. Like, if I watch film now, it's like, it kind of churns my head, like, oh, I can't throw the ball here. Oh, I can't throw the ball there. So I just kind of read swing patterns as the game goes on. So Coach Manley has a plan. We go over that plan. This is what I see. So we'll watch a few like key hitters. But beyond that, I'm just like, okay, I trust your plan. And throughout the game, we'll make adjustments as needed.
Yeah, because you said something earlier too about Coach Manley. You said, that guy's going to coach me? I'm all in. Yeah. Whatever he says, I'm doing.
Yep.
So that's good that you have that faith, and let the the general out there, or the lieutenant general, because you got the 3-star general Bartlett out there, with the 2-star general Manley out there. Yeah. Whatever he says, I'm just going to do. I'm just going to execute it on the battlefield. And you did. Yep. Great. Well, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that recruiting journey. Yeah. That's what I love about this, because I hear so many of them, and they're so unique to that one person. Yep. And they all have their adversity in there and their challenges, but it works out somehow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Okay, good. So here's the next scene. I wanted to talk about your catcher, Samantha Swan. She was a beast this past spring. You went through some adversity in the 2024 season. You missed playing that year. You played with a ton of intensity and enthusiasm. You and Swan were on fire working together. I felt like it, because you had to be, because the year you had, it doesn't happen without that battery happening. Yep. And then Kat Osterman I hear her on TV because I watch you guys on ESPN Plus when you're away, and she'd always talk about Swan. I think she used to a pitching coach for one of the players there that used to work with Swan.
Yep.
She always said, this little girl, she don't let that don't mistake that for lack of power, because she has a lot of power in her at bat.
Oh yeah.
And I always think catchers anyway, because they're always in that squatting position. They're so strong. So do you see that it connects with the power? Because she had a couple bombs.
Oh yeah.
In big moments this year.
Yes. Like that OSU game that I was my favorite game of the entire season. Sam pulled through. Like she had an amazing game, and she's the reason. I mean, obviously the team is the reason we won, but she had an amazing game, and without her, I don't know what would have happened.
That's what I love about teams. Is like, yeah, you got your great players, and they all contribute at some point in the season. You know, big time players make big plays, and big plays, win games. But you never know when that moment's going to be. But you keep grinding, and sometimes it's Ash, and sometimes it's Hall, and sometimes it's Yaya, and sometimes it's you. You just never know who it is. But you guys trust in each other.
Yeah.
Now, it seems that you and Swan had put together a strong bond, chemistry together. Is that something that was intentional, or do you think it happened organically just by, working together all the time?
I think Sam is just one of those people that she's just so easy to get along with. And we had very similar ways of being raised. So we just kind of naturally, organically connected. But whenever you spend hours on hours catching me, especially, I've always been effectively wild. So whenever I throw, 10 rise balls that are like 10 feet sailed over her head, we just kind of laugh. We're just okay, that's not at all what I was trying to do. But she just kind of laughs. And I think that's just like something that is so special about Sam, is like, she's the type of person that will get on you when you need to be, harped on. But she's also the person that will love on you when you're doing really good. And that's something that really bonded us together, is we have each other's backs, and we know that. But she's an important piece in the clubhouse too. Like, she's not afraid to tell you if you're not doing the right thing, or if you are doing the right thing, she's going to tell you to keep on going,
That's great. Holding each other accountable.
Absolutely.
In a, I don't know, in a cool way, or in a way that's
a loving way.
Yes.
Like, she does it because she loves you. And that's something that Sam is just really, really good at. She's just a good human being.
Does she help you in the kitchen when you put on these dinners? Or is it just you?
It's pretty much just me.
Okay.
They love eating the food. But right. I'm also the type of person that's like, I don't need help. So
do you have is it like a potluck? Does other people bring like dessert or anything like that?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah,
it's a big thing, like from the Midwest. So whenever you get invited to somebody's house, you just can never show up empty-handed. You always have to bring something. That's
so me. That is literally so me. I'm like, I don't really have anything, but I'll bring over a bag of chips.
Okay. All right, good. All right, well, that's been awesome interviewing you, and thank you for being so. Your candor has been great. Very direct with us. I love it. And then, finally on game day, what's on your playlist? Let's say it's Saturday, and you got a big game that night, Saturday night, Club Farrington. What are you listening to during the day? What would be your walk-up song? Did they give you guys a walk-up song? Or okay.
Yeah. Yep. So you're probably going to laugh. I don't think that anyone expects this. I love country rock. That has been like my jam this past season, and I don't think that it's ever going to change. But my walkout song this year was Sold Out by Hardy, and it's like scream music.
Okay. All right.
And then
when you walk out to the circle.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. So that's what I have on pretty much the entire day. But before every single game, like, it's such a long buildup before the game that I like have a ton of anxiety. I'm just like, okay, I need to chill out. So I'll either listen to like white noise or jazz music right before I go out there, just so I can calm my heart rate down.
But some of that jazz music is not so. It's pretty helter-skelter.
Yeah. It's very like
some of it's
classic,
like really
like slow.
Okay.
It just depends. Like, if I need slowed down, that's what I do. Right. White noise and jazz music.
Well, there you go. It works.
So random.
No, it's great. Whatever it works. You're an NFCA first-team All-American at ASU.
There it is again.
Well, hey, thank you, Kenzie. It was awesome.
I appreciate it.
Yep. If you liked what you saw today, please follow us on YouTube, X, Instagram. Sometimes I post it on TikTok too. It's a lot of stuff to do. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm Javier with AZ in the Circle, Arizona Softball Podcast.